Have you ever caught yourself thinking about someone so much that it feels impossible to stop? How does a simple moment with someone turn into an obsession that consumes your thoughts, your time, and even your peace? Let me share with you Farhan's story, a story that reveals how Shaitan can quietly lead us down a path of obsession if we're not careful. Farhan, a 20-year-old Muslim student in New York, prides himself on his discipline and focus. As a BS English major, his days are meticulously structured lectures, study sessions, and moments of quiet reflection in the remembrance of Allah. This balance between academics and spirituality keeps him among the top students in his class. But during one particularly intense exam period, life throws him an unexpected challenge. While reviewing for a crucial literature exam, Farhan receives a late-night phone call. The voice on the other end, filled with urgency, shares news that shakes his carefully constructed world. A close relative has fallen seriously ill. The weight of worry begins to disrupt Farhan's routine. His once laser-sharp focus falters as his mind shifts between studies and the well-being of his loved one. The predictability that once brought him comfort now feels distant and unreachable. Questions flood his mind. How can I stay focused when my heart feels so heavy? Am I failing in my responsibilities as a student or as a family member? In these moments of doubt, Farhan turns to his faith for guidance. He revisits the verses of the Quran that remind him of patience, sabr, and trust in Allah's plan. Balancing his responsibilities becomes an act of resilience. He incorporates prayers for his loved one into his day, seeking solace in the remembrance of Allah, while also setting strict study goals to keep his academic path steady. Farhan's story is one of perseverance, showing how life's trials can test not just our patience but also our priorities. By leaning on his faith and inner discipline, he learns to navigate this challenging chapter, discovering strength he didn't know he possessed. For viewers, this is a reminder. Life's unpredictability is inevitable, but how we respond defines our journey. With faith, focus, and determination, even the toughest challenges can become opportunities for growth. The moment that changed everything for Farhan. Farhan's life has always been simple and focused. His world revolves around his studies, his faith, and the structured routine that keeps him at the top of his class. But one day, during an important exam, a small moment shifts something deep inside him. As Farhan reviews his notes in the exam hall, his pen suddenly slips and rolls across the floor, stopping near Fatima's chair. Fatima, one of his cheerful and confident classmates, picks it up, smiles warmly, and hands it back. "Here's your pen, brother," she says with respect and kindness. It's a brief interaction, but it feels different. Fatima's warm smile and the way she addresses him as brother linger in Farhan's mind. No girl had ever spoken to him like that before. As the exam begins, Farhan tries to focus, but his thoughts keep drifting back to her voice, her smile, and her gesture. For someone so disciplined, this distraction feels unfamiliar and unsettling. Farhan feels a pang of guilt. He's always guarded his heart, maintaining his focus on academics and his connection to Allah. But now, sitting in the exam hall, he finds himself struggling to lower his gaze and center his thoughts. That night, Farhan seeks clarity through prayer. He raises his hands in dua, asking Allah for forgiveness. He prays for the strength to realign his focus and to guard his heart from distractions. It's a moment of vulnerability and self-reflection, reminding him of the importance of discipline and reliance on Allah in every aspect of life. Farhan's story is a powerful reminder that even the smallest interactions can test our resolve and character. Life is full of unexpected moments, but it's how we respond with humility, faith, and intention that defines our path. When focus falters, Farhan's inner struggle. Farhan's life takes another unexpected turn during the next exam. This time, fate places him near Fatima again. As he settles into his seat, she turns to him with a friendly smile and asks, "Brother, do you know the course code?" Farhan's response is brief and measured, aiming to maintain the distance he values. But inside, his thoughts race. Does she like me? Was that smile more than just politeness? This seemingly innocent question sets off a whirlwind of emotions. Farhan, who once prided himself on his focus and discipline, begins replaying every interaction he's had with Fatima. He analyzes her every word, her gestures, and even her tone of voice, searching for hidden meanings. His mind spins with endless what-if scenarios, each one pulling him further away from the reality of his exams. What starts as fleeting curiosity turns into a quiet obsession. Instead of immersing himself in his textbooks, Farhan finds himself scrolling through articles and forums, researching signs that a girl might be interested in him. He begins to imagine ways to impress her, crafting scenarios where he could earn her admiration. But this spiral comes at a cost. Farhan's focus on his studies begins to slip. The structured routine he once relied on starts to feel burdensome, replaced by a constant flood of overanalyzed interactions and imagined possibilities. For Farhan, this is more than just a distraction. It's a test of his character and values. The discipline he's worked so hard to build is now at odds with the unexpected emotions that Fatima has stirred in his heart. When the heart takes over, Farhan's struggle with distraction. Farhan's emotions reach a tipping point during another exam. Fatima, needing help with a question, turns to him. He offers a brief explanation, keeping his tone neutral. But when she hands him back a forgotten pen afterward, her warm smile and heartfelt "Thank you for your help" linger in his mind. For Farhan, this small moment feels monumental. It's not just a casual exchange. To him, it's a sign. His feelings, already budding, now grow into something deeper. He becomes convinced that there's a unique connection between them, something special that goes beyond polite gestures. From that day, his once steady routine unravels completely. The disciplined student who spent nights absorbed in his books now finds himself lost in daydreams about Fatima. Scenarios of their interactions replay endlessly in his mind, growing more elaborate with each passing day. His focus on academics once, his pride and joy has taken a back seat to thoughts of her. During lectures, he starts looking for opportunities to speak with her, finding excuses to cross paths. One day, after much hesitation, he musters the courage to ask for her phone number. Masking his intent with an academic pretext, he says it's to discuss coursework. Fatima, cheerful and unassuming, readily shares it with him. For Farhan, this feels like a breakthrough. But beneath the excitement lies a deeper struggle. His heart is pulling him in a direction that conflicts with the discipline and faith he's always held dear. This tipping point raises a crucial question. Will he find a way to balance these emotions, or will they continue to lead him astray? When fantasy meets reality, Farhan's wake-up call. Farhan's excitement after exchanging numbers with Fatima begins to fade as reality sets in. Late one night, curiosity gets the better of him, and he finds himself scrolling through her social media profiles. What he sees shatters the image he had built in his mind. Her posts are vibrant and full of life, but they're not what Farhan had hoped for. Heart emojis and effusive declarations of love for her favorite K-pop idol dominate her updates. Each post feels like a dagger to his heart, a reminder that her affections are directed elsewhere. As he delves deeper, Farhan begins to notice a pattern. Fatima's warmth and kindness weren't exclusive to him. They were simply part of who she was, a cheerful and friendly person who treated everyone with respect. The realization hits hard when he observes her interacting with other male classmates in the same light-hearted way she had with him. Farhan feels the weight of his own assumptions. He had taken her gestures and kindness as signs of something more, projecting his own feelings onto her and weaving a fantasy that didn't exist. The clarity stings, but it also brings with it a harsh truth. He had been losing himself in a one-sided narrative. This moment becomes a turning point for Farhan. He begins to reflect on how far he has drifted from his values and priorities. The distraction that once consumed his thoughts now serves as a painful lesson in the importance of grounding oneself in reality and not letting fleeting emotions dictate one's actions. Farhan's journey to clarity. Lessons in love and faith. Heartbroken and confused, Farhan finds himself at a crossroads. The fantasy he had built around Fatima has unraveled, leaving him with a deep sense of loss and confusion. Seeking clarity, he begins to search for answers, and his journey leads him to a concept he had never encountered before: limerence. Limerence, he learns, is an obsessive infatuation fueled by uncertainty, a state of mind that thrives on imagined possibilities rather than reality. Farhan reflects on how Shaitan had used this uncertainty to sow distraction in his heart, pulling him away from his faith and purpose. This realization is a turning point. Farhan comes to understand that what he felt was never love. It was a test from Allah, a reminder to stay grounded and not allow fleeting emotions to derail the discipline he had worked so hard to build. He sees now that his obsession with Fatima wasn't truly about her. Instead, it was about filling a void within himself, a void that no person could ever satisfy. With this new perspective, Farhan makes a firm commitment to realign his focus. He turns back to Allah, seeking strength and solace in prayer. Slowly, he rebuilds his routine, immersing himself in his studies and his faith. Farhan begins to appreciate that true contentment doesn't come from chasing fantasies or external validation. It comes from fulfilling his purpose and nurturing his relationship with his Creator. Farhan's journey is a powerful reminder that life's trials, even those of the heart, are opportunities for growth. Through self-reflection, faith, and discipline, he not only overcomes his distraction, but emerges stronger and more focused than ever. So, what's the takeaway? Don't let Shaitan play with your emotions. Protect your heart, lower your gaze, and prioritize your mission in life. True fulfillment comes from within, not from seeking validation or attention from others. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.